You honestly don't like the book?
You know, it's like asking a doctor or a lawyer or an actor. You don't really like this role, do you? So why are you doing it? You hate this brief personally. Why are you taking it? This is really complicated surgery. Does that mean you turn your back?
Ji, Romana?
I'm just intrigued, it seems to me that people, writers, should be really wanting to be on your show rather than the other way around, that you have to, pursue them. Because if it is, I'm sure
Of course they do.
Yeah,
Of course they do. Just ask my friend Shobha Dey. If she had her way, she'd be on it non-stop.
Ali Hashmi?
This question, I mean,
Do you really see your art as a commodity? In other words, if you thought you wanted to write a book, but it wasn't marketable, would you still write it?
There are two parts to writing a book. One is the intention of writing it, which has nothing to do with anything commercial. And that's about trying to make something that one thinks is beautiful and true. And there's another side of it, which is once the beautiful and the true has hopefully been written, then you want everybody on earth to buy it so that you can have all the fruits of that also. So there are two sides to it.
I personally think once a book writer writes a book, he feels relieved because the creation has come out of that. It's not a commodity like Coca-Cola.
No. Look, I'm joking. I mean, I was joking, but it is a commodity like Coca-Cola. I mean, fine, whatever. The guy who made Coca-Cola probably thought he was doing something brilliant too.
Yes.
I think I hate it when people sorry, I'm stealing your fire here, but I hate it when people sort of make writing into this sort of this sort of role of the high priest. We're not high priests. We're just guys who are providing another form of entertainment. We may be a little bit more sophisticated than the guy who makes the TV show, or whatever. But basically, we are providing you guys entertainment, and that's what we do. And I think that to keep that on your mind is very important.
Excuse me, just one question, please. Asif Farooqi?
you just mentioned, Sunil, you mentioned the name of Shobha Dey and then you moved on. So what is the rest of the story? How do you deal with persistent people who would be on your show? And then what have been the low points, people who have not risen up to the kind of bait you have offered them?
No, Shobha, first of all, is an old friend and colleague, and is completely professional. So I just tell her, Shobha, I can't. I mean, I can't have you at Shobha at 50 and Shobha at 51 and then Shobha at 60. I mean, her new catch line at Shobha at 60 is how she's fighting the cage of age. I said, well, too bad. And she had an uproarious laugh. So they understand. Others persist. I have had some very unfortunate instances where the channel has had to threaten legal action because of people's pursuit that, for example, one thing that angers a lot of people, and this can be really corrupted and misused, is that it's an English language show in a country where writing in many other languages is very powerful and brilliant. But I can't put a Marathi or a Tamil author. So that's been a big issue. But then, there are Marathi and Tamil and Telugu and Gujarati channels. Why don't they start a literary show or a book show with powerful intellectual and literary traditions? In this book, I've included 2 non-English writers for that reason. Although they don't write in English, they are so eloquent in speaking English and describing their life and art. One is Javed Akhtar, the great Hindi film screenwriter and songwriter. I think it's one of the best interviews I've ever done. How to write a perfect film song. You think it's easy? Read him. The other is the great Mahashweta Devi, the Bengali writer, the social and political activist, crusader, and novelist. And I was very, very interested to find how a life of political activism combines with the creative life. But that's a big issue.
I have a question here to Mr. Sunil Sethi. I want to know if you've interviewed people, because it's a weekly show, have you interviewed writers who you've not really read? And my second question is, as a journalist, do you miss not writing regularly?
The answer to the first is that I never interview a person who I haven't read for the show. It's my job, and I have to do it to the best of my ability, and that includes reading not only their books, but as much about them as possible. Do I miss writing? No, I write every week. I write a column every week. I review a book, at least 2-3 books a month. So it's not an entirely painless life.
Any other questions? Actually, I love, yes, please go ahead, Rukhsana Ahmed. A short story writer.
I was just curious about whether you've actually ever been very irritated by writerly egos, because quite a lot of writers have massive egos. You walk into a room and they get in your way. So have you ever felt that, annoyed at writers?
Well, as you're a writer yourself, and as this is a very intimate gathering, you've raised a touchy point with me. It's nothing I would normally own up. But let me tell you, I could have a very small, exquisite glass cabinet made with little Taj Mahals of egos. Some smaller than others. You know, those marble images.
Actually, I loved reading about the various tactics that you use, Sunil, to get your interviews. I mean, with Nadine Gaudemet, I think you smuggled in a message through a hotel staff to her and got her on board. Any other questions?
I think that's it.
Well, thank you very much. I would just like, may I request Mrs. Fariba Thompson, if you could come up and give presents to our staff. Fariba Thompson is the wife of the British High Commissioner in Pakistan. They're right here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very sweet.
No, don't be silly.
Could you just look towards the camera? Vijay?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all very much for being
Thank
so
you very much.
patient. Thank you.
Yes, actually, Kishwar Nahid has lost her bag. It looks like this, and her poems are in it. So if anybody has taken it by mistake, please give it to Kishwar Nahid. Thank you.
Dear all, there has been a slight change in schedule. The session with Mohammad Hanif, moderated by Sadia Shepard, will now be at 4 till 5 p.m. at Selena's. It was supposed to be between 2 to 3. Thank you.